I'll be the last one left when the lights go out. I'm down to one last breath, but I can't stop.
What is going on, folks? We out here once again. Sneak preview tonight. Transformers Rise of the Beast. This is a nice little adaptation of the classic Beast Wars cartoon. This is a sequel to the best Transformers movie. Yes, even though the Dark of the Moon is my favorite, Bumblebee. So yeah, we're in 1994, Brooklyn. Lord knows they play up this whole Brooklyn, New York thing so much in this movie. But coming off the heels of the really good Bumblebee, right? So it was, how do we move forward with this franchise? And we have Beast Wars. So essentially what the movie is about is Unicron, the planet-eating transformer, is hungry. It wants Earth. And there's this MacGuffin called the Transwarp Key, which allows the user to go through time and space. And we start off with the fight of Unicron taking on the Maximals. Ape King, whatever his name is, he's in charge of the Maximals. Optimus Primal, Cheetor, Rhinox, all of them. So the Beast War has actually already happened. Remember, the Maximals are descendants of the Autobots. So they end up on Earth, and that's where we meet our two pretty much human leads. We have Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback. Anthony Ramos is a former soldier who can't get a job. Dominique Fishback is an intern at a museum who's really smart and knows this stuff. But they're the really only humans that we have to deal with, and it works. They've learned their lesson in the fact that the humans have constantly overshadowed the Transformers, and this is not their story. This is the Transformer story. So they end up meeting the Autobots. And this is a different Prime. Prime does not care about humans. He does not care about Earth. He wants to get the fuck off Earth. He wants to get back home. He will do what he has to do to protect the Autobots. And I'm with it, because it's a different take on Prime. And Anthony Ramos, his main guy is Mirage, voiced by Pete Davidson. We have Bumblebee as well, RC, and then the Maximals, we got Optimus Primal, Rhinox, Cheetor, Air Razor, and the main Terracon, Scourge. And we've got some good voice actors here: Ron Perlman, Michaela J. Rodriguez, Michelle Yao. Pete Davidson voices Mirage. So it's a matter of how well do you like Pete Davidson, and will he tire you out? But back to the story. There's so many relationships that it kind of gets a little bit overwhelming, and we care about Anthony Ramos' character Noah and his little brother who's sick. Everything he does for his little brother. Causes him to go still. He meets Mirage, and it's a whole thing. So the first half of the movie does a really good job of just telling the story, building the characters, making us care about the characters, making us care about the Autobots, making us care about the Maximals. Again, except for Cheetor and Rhinox, because the really Maximals that get all the screen time are Optimus Primal and Air Razor. But the first half of the movie is solid, and it's like, okay, we have what we have from Bumblebee. But then comes the second half, and it kind of just falls off the rails, gets a little cheesy, gets a little wild. I'll tell you one thing, Hasbro has done a really good job of marketing Bumblebee, because people fucking love Bumblebee. They love Bumblebee. But the second half movie devolves into the giant CGI fights, and everybody's got to get their time to shine. And yes, the people do get the time to shine. The humans get the time to shine. And it gets really cheesy and weird at a point. But overall, the fight is really solid. Unicron does finally show up, but he really kind of just doesn't do anything. Sorry for all those that have been waiting years for Unicron, like me. But it's a good jumping off point for something more. There's something else that they tie into, which is pretty crazy to say the least. But the movie, I'll tell you, this is better than a lot of the other Transformers movies for sure. And I like it. I liked it. I didn't leave hating it like I did leaving Age of Extinction and Last Night. Those are just bad movies. But Rise of the Beast is solid. I'd give it 7 out of 10. It's not perfect by far. The first half of the movie really does have you hooked, and then again it just changes, and it like gets shaky, and it's like they couldn't help themselves. This is directed by Stephen Caple Jr., who's a fine young director. I just wish they would have reeled it in just a little bit more and kept it on a smaller scale. It didn't have to be go big or go home with the end of the movie. But 7 out of 10 for Transformers Rise of the Beast.